Hello, listeners. The voice at the beginning of this podcast is, surprisingly, not to inform you of some audio mishap. Quite the opposite, in fact. While at UbuCone Europe, I recorded a podcast mashup with members of Ubuntu Fun podcast from Germany and Le Ubuntu podcast from France. So here is the CrossOver podcast number 2.
Okay, bonjour, this is Rudy. I'm with Max.
Yes.
Martin and Marius.
Hello.
Hello. We are from different podcast team, like Ubuntu Podcast, UbuCone.de, and the Ubuntu Podcast. And we will start just with a small announcement. If you want to take some pictures, you can. And you can also post them with the hashtag UbuCone. It will be fun to see us. Shall we start with the news?
Yes.
Martin, you want
All right.
to start?
Well, I'll do it out of order just to keep it interesting. So the first news item is that you may have heard that the NES Classic was released last week or the week before last. It's a Linux-powered device that you can play your classic NES games on, and it can now run Linux. More importantly, it's an Ubuntu. It's a distribution based off of Ubuntu. So
you're not to say the name on this podcast.
Are we not? Why not?
If I get a sticker, you're allowed to.
Is anyone planning on getting a NES Classic? Anyone in the audience planning on getting? Oh, look, hands go up in the audience.
Well, I'm planning on getting one now.
Yeah, have you pre-ordered?
I first day. I bought it directly on the first day.
Well, so you got it when it was a bargain.
It was early in electronic shop. It's called Saturn in the morning, and I got actually 2 directly.
Wow.
They're really hard to get now. They're really hard to get by now.
I got one for me and one for my girlfriend.
I think there's people queuing up out there, hooting each other to get their NES Classics from the electronic store around the corner.
It's not in the recording that much. It's okay.
Although I've seen that these things are reselling on eBay for like $200 now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because they've sold out.
What was it, 60 or 80 bucks? Or
yes, $60.
€69.
Yeah, it's €69, $60. Yeah. So another device worth getting, because when you finish playing your games, you can stick a Linux distro on it.
Like with every good device.
Yeah. What's up next?
Up next would be the topic of From Max, I guess.
Oh yes, of course. I had recently on OMG Ubuntu there was a post about the Unity 7 low graphics mode, and I don't know about you knew about this before, but for me it was like a surprise that I didn't knew that Unity 7 had a low graphics mode. And I was like, what? You can have this because it's like, in my opinion, a much better mode of Unity 7.
So is it like the netbook session, or?
It's, kind of like it's Unity 7 without the graphical fade in and fade out effects mostly. And like when the windows are maximizing and minimizing, there's also this effect, and all this is missing. And if you start the dash, it's like... You know, even if you have a good graphics card, but using the wrong driver or something, when you hit the starter button, and it takes like 2 or 3 seconds to really fully pop up.
Yeah.
And with the Unity 7 low graphics mode, it's like instant.
So like, it's basically without the compass effect, or
Reduced or optimized.
It's
okay.
Ubuntu Lite.
Yeah.
Kind of
so
like
Eleni, who's on the
Ubuntu
desktop
Lite
team,
Yeah.
she was the software engineer that worked on this. She either optimized the existing visuals that were there, or removed some of the visuals that were being used. So, like you say, some of the blur and fade animations. Yeah. And it's enabled by default on 1604 if Compiz Unity 7 as it comes up detects it's on a software renderer.
Yeah.
So it falls back to this low graphics mode, which means that if you're running it on KVM or VirtualBox, it runs much, much faster in a virtualized environment now.
Or if you're running with a dedicated graphics card that doesn't support the latest OpenGL features.
Yeah. And what was interesting was I saw some of the YouTube reviews around the time 1604 was released, and there was lots of comments about how quick Ubuntu had become, and because most of the reviewers review it on VirtualBox.
Yeah, that's where you know that they're doing it in VirtualBox.
Yeah.
It's
Like complaining about missing graphic drivers.
Yeah.
And I actually have it turned on all the time now.
Okay.
On my machines because it's so much quicker.
That's really beautiful.
Useful. Yeah.
I have a Windows 16.10 machine hosted on DigitalOcean. I guess I will try it there as well because even I don't know what to put it in there, but it sounds like it could profit from there.
Yes. So when this was announced, I forget when this was exactly. It was September time. I think it was re-announced.
In time for 16.
Yeah, but I think there was like an initial announcement, and then it got covered again in the UOS. But I contacted the team who do X2Go, the remote terminal solution, and told them about this and said you probably want to enable this, in the session initialization by default.
It really makes a difference if you try to remote into it. It's like a whole other level of usability.
Okay.
The problem is that at the moment you can enable it in if it doesn't work. I had this also. If you start in a VirtualBox, sometimes like there are different OpenGL features and it doesn't enable it itself. You can put like an init script in a specific location and it starts correctly. But as you know, with 16.10. All init sessions were removed, and also the user session starts now with systemd.
Sure.
And so in 16.10 you have to. The only way I know that works is that you they described on OMG Ubuntu that you install the Compass settings manager and turn it on there by default.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. Maybe sometimes soon there's a write-up how you do it correctly in systemd, but for the time being it's like the easiest way to do it. And it's like better Unity 7 for everyone. Yeah,
and if you've got an older machine and you haven't been using Ubuntu proper, it's probably an opportunity for you to try it out again.
Yeah, maybe they should enable it by default, but...
Yeah. And earlier today we had a presentation from a Microsoft representative, which is timely because of the news that Microsoft joined the Linux Foundation last week.
Hell froze over.
Again, apparently. Yeah. I mean, every time Microsoft announces anything to do with Linux and open source, the same old quotes get rolled out in the headlines about hell freezing over.
It's like pretty much really totally frozen now.
Well, I think we should, cut them a bit of slack now. They clearly demonstrated that they're serious about working with the Linux community and Ubuntu. So, I mean... What do you think about them joining the Linux Foundation? Is things change anything?
I think it's a positive involvement because, like, what's wrong if you join the Linux Foundation? Not like you can hide anything in Linux kernel without the blobs and so on, but it's positive if they want to engage and want to improve their Azure instances or whatever. It's like their thing to do, and that's what Linux is for, like companies to come together and collaborate and like improve their products. It's like beautiful idea and I have no problem with it. Yeah, it's like the Microsoft hate is like really not so much appropriate anymore.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Don't think so. I think it will remain unchanged for a lot of people.
Yeah.
They will still remain suspicious, but I think there's far fewer reasons.
Yeah, it's okay to remain suspicious, of course, but it's like not based on like it's more based on feelings in the meantime, like not anymore.
Yeah, old emotions maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's a good step for Microsoft, and the only question I'm asking myself is what are they planning to do next? So I don't know.
Maybe they join the Free Software Foundation.
I would really like to see that.
Yes. Richard Stallman meeting with like Microsoft chief executives and like that would be great. He probably would burn their money in like an open fire pit like behind us.
This thing's still on, okay.
Yeah, it's like really cozy with the virtual fire that probably nobody.
I think nobody can see it from here. I think that's it for the news. Or did we forget anything?
No, nothing important.
Nah.
Okay, so the next topic is so we are here on live at UbuCone Europe.
Yeah.
So maybe we can talk about your first impression. I just have a question for the people here. Where are you coming from? Where do you come from?
I'm originally from Portugal, but I live in Brussels.
Okay.
So not that far.
Yeah.
like from Portugal.
I'm from Long Beach, but I live in Lake Forest.
Cool. So the US.
Yes, yeah. California.
Okay.
Cool.
Why did you come to UbuCone Europe?
In the wrong place, mate.
Yeah. They agreed to let me be in mic for an hour, so.
Oh, right, okay. And have you come for the weekend or are you staying longer?
I'm sticking around to Thanksgiving.
Oh, right, okay, good. Okay, so you're making the most of the trip.
Absolutely.
Excellent, okay, good. Because there is one guy here, his name's Jose, he's travelled from Peru for the weekend.
It's so impressive, like, he's like, the whole travel time is like probably
20,
more than
20 hours it took him to get here.
Oh my.
Although for Jose, it could be here for like 5 hours and he would do it just for the airline points.
He has class in the morning, he has to get back.
Not really. Oh, jeez.
Oh, really?
That's like commitment to the maximum.
Some commitment, yes.
It's not so much commitment to college though.
When I was on the entrance to take the badges, I saw some badges with the country like China, Madagascar. I was like, wow, is this true? It's UbuCone Europe, you know. So
Yeah.
Although
cool.
I guess around 170 people registered from 30 different countries. Did I get it right? When we planned that event almost a year ago, we thought we got a few of the French local team, maybe a few from the US and UK. But nothing really more. And I'm really, really happy with how it turned out. And I've met so many different people from different countries, and even today. Yeah, it's really nice. That's what I like about Ubuntu or open source events in general. We always met new people.
Normally international around here, it's like you can't walk around like 30 meters without meeting someone that's like from the other end of the world,
Right?
or like the other end of here.
So who have you, because some of you are organisers, who have you been able to attend talks today? Have you been able to attend any, Rudy?
I could attend to one talk, but
Just
I
one.
was a little bit sick, so I was just in the bed, sadly.
So which talk did you go to?
The end of the Nathan talk.
Right.
It was advocating for advocate.
Yep.
Or the reverse.
So advocates, yeah.
And do you have a favourite talk of the day? You've seen.
Well, I've seen just two, so it's,
Okay.
well, I have to decide between Marius Quabeck and Jane Silver.
Okay.
I've seen the keynote and the UbiPod session earlier. But I think the UbiPod session was really interesting. He announced a few new things, and he talked about porting and how hard it can be in general. So, yeah, that was really interesting. I really liked it.
He announced that new device today.
Yeah, I can't even remember the name.
Station Dock.
Station Dock,
Station
yeah.
Dock.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's like a working title.
Right.
We have like a few suggestions sent to him.
That doesn't mean that he will change the name.
Yeah, but there has like to be like a really strong marketing term for it. Should we talk about it, because it's like you're not set in stone and like we don't want to put pressure on it.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm also in the UbiPod community, so I know a few things that he didn't announce today. So I wouldn't go. Yeah, I would say give him a few days, so he will announce it on his blog and on Google Plus. So
So he did say that when he gets back from this event,
Yeah.
he's going to
launch
it.
Launch a
So
Kickstarter,
there'll be a Kickstarter for this device. And we shouldn't talk cryptically because it won't make any sense. The idea is that you can plug Ubuntu devices and Android devices into this thing, and it's a way of converging those devices and exposing them to a screen and a keyboard and a mouse in a consistent way, even those devices that don't have the built-in
HDMI.
HDMI
support,
or wireless display. Yeah.
And like the trick he does is that most docks that you know are like dumb devices that like are just pipes
for the
just
HDMI.
just pipes for the signals they get. But he does like a special thing. He has a Raspberry Pi built into it, and the Raspberry Pi takes the Miracast packets that the phone or tablet or whatever is sending, and decompresses them and like puts them on the HTML output, and
this is good for two reasons. One, it's using a Raspberry Pi, which is terrific, and it's a trend where we see it more and more. But more importantly, if you listen to Ubuntu podcast, you will know that we do end of year predictions, and one of my predictions for this year that there would be 10 consumer devices that use the Raspberry Pi of any model embedded in them, and this actually tips me over the 10. So,
but just announcing them.
No, that's good enough. That's good enough. I'm going to rewrite the rules to suit my agenda.
You probably need to fight on that one a little bit because, you're probably getting some opposition in there.
I'm glad you mentioned that UB Ports talk, because I've got two favourites, and that was one of them.
Okay.
Yeah. So my other one was Microsoft presenting Bash on Ubuntu on Windows. Because I've obviously read about it, but I don't have Windows 10 computers of my own, so I've never actually seen it in action. So actually seeing it work was interesting, but more importantly, they went into quite a lot of technical detail as to how they'd made this work, at the kernel level and the file system driver level within Windows, and that was really interesting. And it's piqued my interest enough that I was asking about how I can get evaluation copies of Windows 10 to actually try this out.
Like a press kit of Windows 10.
You have the developer beta edition, then you have to apply with a special key, then you have to select the right language. Not anymore?
It's like in Windows main.
Yeah, so you now download the eval copy, you do all of the updates, which will automatically take it to the anniversary edition, and then it's just a feature that you can enable.
And they have
fiddling around with the developer and beta edition options.
You can still do that and get early. In fact, Nathan knows more about this than I do. You can enable the preview options and get early access to new images of Ubuntu.
Yeah, like I think
features.
They are planning on moving to 16.04 pretty soon in the developer edition. Yeah, maybe.
Soonish.
Soonish. Yeah. So that was in the pipe. So I really enjoyed that presentation. I thought that was really interesting.
And on a related note, in the keynote of CrossOver, which was also pretty cool, she was asked at the end if there are plans to support snaps on Windows.
The question was Snap-D.
Yeah, Snap-D on Windows. I don't think it's like a viable model to deliver apps on something if you have to
be a coup, wouldn't it?
It would be like really like backstabbing Microsoft, but I think people are pretty excited about it, and she didn't decline the possibility of it working. So maybe somebody will hack something.
So you're referring here to Jane's keynote.
Yeah.
So where does that feature on your?
It's probably also place 2 behind Marius Quabeck's talk, because he announced so many things that I was really excited about. It's like early Christmas. It just was awesome. We recorded the whole thing, so you can watch the keynote and the talk from Marius Quabeck pretty soon.
As soon as I finished editing it.
So at some point they can come to UbuCone.org and
definitely after this podcast or this episode will come out.
Yeah.
Okay, so at some point in the future you can see all of the videos of the
linked in the show notes.
Excellent.
We got some of the best ones. These talks were really, really the top of notch things. I'm also quite impressed with the quality of talks we get at this. Pretty small conference in this unperfect house in Essen here, because there are 4 tracks and they are packed full with talks with little breaks in between for lunchtime and so. But it's really a 2 days program, continuously interesting talks, completely different everyone, and not in hinged in one theme, but spreading out about community things and DevOps things and cloud management, and there was one about HTTPS and Ubu ports. It's every topic you can think of, and totally diverse, but also really competent on their topics, which is quite surprising to me that they have such a great program in such a small con.
Yeah. So, have any of you been able to explore the building that we're in?
Yeah, I think I got lost.
Yeah.
Earlier.
Well, I got into the room for the keynote and for the UbiPost talk, and then I got into the room where I could edit the videos. I haven't seen much more yet.
But you have found them both, and that's like quite a challenge.
I think I will explore it a bit later.
Yeah, so I tried to have a wander around earlier. So the imperfect house that we're in is a load of conference rooms to do the things that we're doing now, to host meetings, and there's some guys hacking in a couple of other rooms and some presentations taking place. But then there's lots of studios for creatives around the whole building, people making all sorts of different stuff.
And all sorts of painting on the wall and creative stuff hanging around.
Yeah, and I tried to wander around earlier and got lost because it is a bit labyrinthine, the building.
Totally.
And I did find a couple of things. One, I couldn't decide if it was an art installation or not, but it was a chair that said defect, and I couldn't decide whether that was a legitimate sign on a broken chair,
I think
or whether
it was a broken chair because it was like a massage chair, and I think it didn't work correctly. But you're not quite sure. If you're downstairs, there's like in the men's bathroom. The pissoir is like a big screen.
Yes.
And you can imagine the rest.
Yeah, and the only other thing I've seen is really sort of, I've seen it, I can't stop looking at it, and that's in the main room. If you look up into the middle of the main room, there's a chandelier that is made out of lots of Barbie dolls that have been sprayed silver and sort of stuck together in this sort of kind of grotesque arrangement. I have a photograph of that I can give you for the show notes if you like.
And if you are like in the first room, if you enter the house in the entrance, if you watch at the ceiling, you like see all sorts of like rusty knives and the saws and everything hanging from the ceiling. And I felt not quite so safe after that because. Yes, it's kind of creepy if you look up.
There's lots of subtle things if you look around. Downstairs in the entrance area, there's just part of a Facebook thumb and a number. And if you go to the Facebook page and hit like, the number spins, and what you're looking at on Facebook and on the number is the same thing. So there's all these little things embedded around the place.
Yeah, it's really an adventure to be here.
Yeah.
It's also it has its problems because I think I came late to some talks because I really couldn't find a room. It was like totally confusing, and the maps aren't that great, and you have like 8 different routes to get from place to place, and sometimes you find a total cool shortcut, but then you notice that it's like leading you around the others, but it's a great ambience around you, and there's like a garden on the floor on the roof, and it's like a great location for a conference like this.
I can't think of a better place to hold an event like this.
I believe that I've missed so many things already.
Yeah. And Rudy, have you been able to explore the place at all, or have you been sitting quietly trying to recover?
My impression was the same like Max. The first entrance room with torture stuff, a bit creepy, and the room just after that, with all the chandelier, and it was just a contrast, very funny.
And have any of you met somebody who you knew online but haven't met in person at all?
Yeah, for example, you. Yeah, it was like really exciting to like go around and see all the faces that you like heard of, or like you kind of knew around the community, and like these are real people. They like in 3D and like
just
touchable.
Yeah. So my obvious reply is yes, all of you who I only saw for the first time on a video conference 2 nights ago.
Yeah, the day before.
Other than that, we've just been Telegram acquaintances, and the same with Rudy as well. Yeah. People that you know in the community, and then I've several others who it's not until you see the name badges and you see the names of people and you go, I know you. Well, I sort of know you. I know you now. So yeah, from very early on in the early days of Ubuntu Mate, there was a guy called Jeroen who was very supportive of the Ubuntu Mate project, and he made it possible for me to meet the Debian maintainers for Ubuntu Mate in Essen almost 2 years ago to the day in this building.
Really?
And yeah,
here
in the Imperfect House. Yeah,
I think you've told the story on the Ubuntu podcast that you went to Germany to meet the Debian maintainer, but I didn't know that this was actually here.
It was here in this place,
like,
and it was like exactly 2 years ago.
You knew what you were getting into. If you
Yeah. One of the reasons why I wanted to come here is because I'd been here before and I wanted to come back.
So you're launching a new flavor soon?
Well, no, not really.
Has it changed?
I think it has. Something that I was looking for is when I came a couple of years ago, there was one of the guys with a studio had a load of Star Wars and Star Trek models that were scale models that were used in the actual production. But then he made steampunk versions of them, and they were big scale models, and they were really impressive. And I was hoping he was still here, but I haven't found him.
Yeah, I think they're changing stuff around here all the time because there are like 100 ateliers, and like everything is like you can book a room and like be in there and like make your stuff, and then probably the next session like puts all of it away and like make something different. Also, the infrastructure of the building is great because like you come in. If you don't are like in a conference or so, you have to pay the entrance fee, and if you pay the entrance fee, you can like walk around the building, and everywhere you go, you can like pull yourself some soft drinks and free. And also hot coffee and like other hot drinks are also for free. And
if you haven't tried it, I recommend the iced tea. It's really good.
Yeah,
really good.
It's like really fun to just go around and like hold your cup anywhere and like try every flavor once and just try it. And also the food is great. If you paid in advance, you can get like this cool thing here. And when you have this thing, then you have the power to go down to the buffet and take everything you want, and I really like the whole thing. And every room has like also a cell phone charger at the wall, and most of them have like power plugs and everything. Yeah. So it's like really adequate for like this conference
group of people. Yes.
Yeah.
Except Type-C for USB charger.
Also, the Wi-Fi is great. I haven't had any problems till now.
I was trying to upload the keynote video earlier, and it says something like 3 days. So
it's only 1 meg.
Okay. But like it's not crashing if you want to download something. So
download's decent.
That's great.
Clearly,
of course.
Yeah.
It's not like laid out for production use and stuff like this, but it's really decent for like an artist convention that probably you won't upload such great files.
So has anyone got a favourite moment so far? We're only halfway through, of course. There's a whole day ahead of us, but have you got a favourite moment of the day so far?
I really have to come back to this, but I was like really excited when Marius announced this. It's like a hub for Ubuntu Touch, because like I was this is absolutely 100% the thing that this platform needs to like become more usable for everyone. And
so that's
my favorite moment. It was a total surprise to me because someone didn't told me.
Rudy, do you have a favourite moment so far?
Yeah, yesterday when I was not sick. And during the social event just after the museum, and that moment when you say, "Oh, I know that face, but I don't remember the nick," or the reverse, you know the nick of someone is coming and you are looking, where is it? And for example, it was during the museum tram transport, and I was in the tram, and we didn't know another group of people coming to UbuCone at the museum were in the same tram. I was like, this guy look like Mario Grip, but I'm not sure it's him. Should I say hi or not? I was like, it was funny. And finally I say hi, but it was, You need to see all the faces of people you meet online, and
it's really
you share beers or anything.
It's so much easier if you have like these name badges, because you don't have to guess anymore, and like you can.
I've actually printed them 2 days before the conference because the list was still growing. We had like 120 registrations starting earlier last week. And for the remaining for the 170 just came the 2 days or 24 hours before the conference. So I had to wait until the last moment where I could print the name badges. I cut them all, not all at once, because I had to cut out every single one of them.
So I think that was your favourite moment then, cutting out all the name badges.
Well, it definitely was the favourite moment for my co-workers in the office.
I heard a rumor that like Poppy, who isn't here, because like who knows, but has had like 2 name badges, and right. Both of them are gone.
Both of them went lost, and I think he's currently looking for.
So there are probably like 2 people running around here wearing Poppy's name badge.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, they're probably collector's items, aren't they?
Yeah.
Well,
who knows? When they go up on eBay, you can like.
Yeah. My favourite moment was yesterday. We met up with a group of people that had gone to one of the cafes nearby, and I met Marcus Costales for the first time, who I've known online for a long, long time. And he saw me, I saw him, our eyes met across a crowded room. We ran to each other and gave each other a great big hug. It was a beautiful moment. So
like from a romance.
Yeah, and you'll notice, for those of you here, you can see I'm wearing a System AU t-shirt. If you're familiar, this is an Australian podcast that's loosely Linux and open source based. Hello Nick, hello Dan. And last night, they started the meme of calling Ubuntu Mate Ubuntu Martin, and I had somebody last night come up, and I was introduced to a group of people who were looking for Ubuntu Martin, and I turned around and said to these people, "Do you listen to System AU?" And I just had all these nodding, smiling faces. So well done, System AU. You've invaded Europe as well.
Yeah, it's impressive how far reach of an Australian Linux podcast can be in the age of the internet.
Yeah, so they're represented in spirit here as well, I suppose.
Yeah. Cool.
So, should we move on?
Yeah.
It would be cool if we had like Ubuntu podcast style transition music.
I think we could edit that.
Don't do the music.
I won't. It's probably like the 6th time I suggested we sing the Free Software song, but nobody's up. We need a better Free Software song.
So I think we wanted to interview that guy who just left the room, which is not really good for our timing.
So we'll edit that bit out. Imagine there was a really witty and engaging interview with Nathan Haynes.
If you close your eyes, then you can try to imagine Nathan Haynes saying like really intelligent things about things like intelligent questions that we asked.
And our questioner was erudite.
Yeah.
So you
we were eloquent, and we hadn't had any spelling issues. And we were like perfect journalists that like really get paid good for their job.
So thank you, Nathan, for that insightful interview.
And the part after this great interview, I feel like really inspired. We should do.
Yeah. So sorry. So we should add a game.
Yeah.
Which is a kind of quiz. But my secret question, I'm not here. So this is quite uncomfortable. But we can do some command line love.
Oh, so can we?
Oh.
Uh-oh.
We're like copyright infringing on
no, it's fine. It's fine.
Not if you say like love. You just have to say love, then it's not like infringement.
No, you have to say command line love.
Love. Feel the love.
Yeah. So have you got a favourite command line utility that you use? Covet. Love.
I'm not quite sure if I should say this, but like in the in recent days or weeks, it's like been Magic Device Tool.
Right.
I'm really not trying to.
Never heard of it before.
Maybe we can do an
Maybe we should
interview.
that as the Marius device tool.
Yeah, that's a good meme.
Maybe we can do something like a Ubuntu Mate edition.
Yeah, I don't know. I've used it quite often these days because I wanted to play around with it and like put like every different flavor that is offered for the Nexus 4. And
Which are a few actually.
Yeah, like I tried Maru OS and the Sailfish thing.
Right.
And
so I think this is the perfect single command line love we need.
Yeah.
Because Marius, who sat next to me, is the creator of Magic Device Tool.
Yeah.
So Marius, tell us, what is Magic Device Tool? What does it do?
So in a nutshell, it's a wrapper for ADB, Fastboot, and Ubuntu Device Flash. So it's basically if you start the launcher, you get asked for what device you wanted to use. So for example, the Nexus 4. The next step is you will get asked what do you want to do? Flash Ubuntu, CyanogenMod, Android. What do I put there?
Sailfish, Maru.
And a few other things. Developer options like unlocking the bootloader. Doing a backup completely automated with the TeamView Project Recovery. So it's just basically you just enter the number the tool tells you please reboot your device into fastboot by pressing volume down and the power key. And I think it's that for the device. And the rest, everything else is getting done by the tool. It's flashing Ubuntu on it or Android. It pushes all the files over via RDB to the recovery, runs the install command, tells you all the time on the screen what it's doing at the moment. And as soon as it's done, it says please unplug your device, have fun. Something like that.
So if you've got Ubuntu devices or any of these community supported devices or the official Nexus supported devices, you can flip and flash any which way you want to test the different stuff.
Yeah, you just have to go through like 3 options that you choose, and after that you have to do nothing. Like that's the magic part. Like you just sit there and watch like work being done that takes really long if you do it by hand and I have nothing to do.
The backstory of the tool is I had to, in the Ubuntu Fun community, which is one of our podcasts, we had to, several times we had Flash Hangouts where Ubuntu phone users broke the installation and asked how can I get it back working and how can I fix it. And at some point I was like, no, I don't want to explain Ubuntu Device Flash again, so I finally wrote a tool or wrapper around it. And most of the time I just get an email or a tweet and say thank you for the tool, it's working great, I don't have to hassle with the wiki or something like that.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's basically what I wanted to do with it.
Well, thank you, Marius, for making the Magic Device Tool.
Really much.
I appreciate it. I think, was it you, Alan, who proposed an idea?
It was me, yeah. So my idea was to flash on the Pro 5, add the Flyme OS option, and there's a patched version of the twerp recovery which supports Android and Ubuntu now.
It's needed for the non-Ubuntu edition MySophones. Right?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, I've looked into that. At least for the recovery part, I already wrote a version of that, but I have to test it next week when I get my hands on a Pro 5. But I'm pretty sure that update will come soon.
Excellent. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to talk about Magic Device Tool inside a new section of the podcast, who could be your favorite apps with interface. Because that could be help a lot of human beings with their phone. Like, it's not working, I don't want to use command line because I'm afraid of it. And then magic.
Well, the downside of it is I'm getting like 20 emails per day with, hey, can I use your tool with insert random phone here? Yeah. It's sometimes really annoying. I already have a template for the answer. But most people don't really get that. For Ubuntu, you have to port it for the device parts really specifically, and there's not like you can install Ubuntu Unity and diff 64 ISO.
If you want to know how hard it is, you can watch
you can watch the UbiPod session.
Yeah, you probably won't ask again after.
Yeah,
no,
I said it a few times.
There's a lot of misunderstanding there about the difference between ARM and Intel chips. when we released Ubuntu Mate for the Raspberry Pi, we get lots of questions. People confused that they can't install these
Like the
Skype
stuff.
Deb on Ubuntu Mate for the Pi, for example. Right. I think that's our command line love rip-off section handled there, is it?
Well, I have a few things to add during that command line love.
All right, go on then.
But it was supposed to be a game. But you have to say yes before.
Yes.
Yes. So
Yes.
you accept. I was supposed to give some stuff during the quiz, and so you have to accept now this item because you say yes.
I'm not sure what I've agreed to, but okay.
Did everybody say yes?
I think he didn't, but quite. Oh jeez.
I will need this.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Okay, my mic.
Yeah. Can pass on. Yes.
Okay.
Everything will be perfect.
Right, we've been handed a small square of tissue each.
I'm like not quite sure.
I've heard Ilonka talking about it earlier, but I didn't know it was supposed to.
I think I have a meeting right now.
See if we can find Poppy.
Yeah.
So for the
And now
I think we're getting
stickers.
Stickers?
He's trying to fool us. But
Are you sure?
Oh,
Are you sure those are stickers?
No.
Oh, that's why I bring water and you got some tissue.
Oh jeez.
Right.
I'm so lucky you said yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sure Alan won't have said yes.
I was about to ask, did you
I
try
can
to
see where this is
before?
going. I'm going to need a glass of water. Because I drunk the other one.
Yeah. Makes
Right.
sense. I kind of love the idea, but there aren't like really mean tattoos. It's like just two Ubuntu ones.
I also,
Challenge is to put them on the compositors?
so everybody is watching you trying to put this free item gift on.
Where exactly are you planning to?
Where do you want to put it?
I'm not quite sure.
On your
This is
face,
like in my face. It's like a little bit on the nose.
So what's the technique? Do you make the whole thing?
Oh, so you have
Here we go.
to. Okay, I will show you.
Oh dear, the instructions are in French.
Yeah. It's used by the French local team. They bring those in music festival.
Right.
So it helps catching people.
Oh, there's a website to go to.
So
That'll be in French as well, of course.
so you take a tissue.
Right.
You put a few of water.
Okay.
You remove the plastic here, and you put on your skin. You add the water. We need
You
more.
put the water on top of like the plastic.
No, you remove the
on the other
plastic,
side.
and you put
I
on the
see.
skin, and then you can add
Okay.
some water. When you got some water, you can just have to use your hand and push it
Like for how long?
for 5 seconds maybe.
Okay.
And
Oh.
here we go. Chicks.
Oh, yeah. I remember this from like when I was.
So what we've got here are water applied tattoos
Yeah.
of the Ubuntu logo and tux. And what we have to do is dunk some tissue in a glass of water, then apply the tattoo
On the skin.
I'm feeling
on
like
the
10
skin,
again.
soak it, and then one of us has got to pull one off first and see if we've actually done it or if we're hopeless. Shall I go first? Are you ready?
Yeah, dude.
Hey, look at that. Hey.
Let's see. Oh no.
Oh dear. There's been a malfunction.
I have a part of the Ubuntu logo on my hand now. let's try with the thing.
Have you like followed the instructions on the back? Or?
I tried it. I thought it. Yeah.
Right, I'm all in. Let's do another one.
Yeah.
Jeez. And look, you give them out at parties? Like,
Well, we go in a festival, music festival, for example, we get a booth, which is a web cafe, so people can try.
yeah, there was a video about it, like where you put up your booth and like there was music. That's
and
brilliant.
Those are the tattoos that people can apply on themselves.
So these are the ones we see in that photograph of everyone in the hands locked together.
If you got an ubuntu.org, UbuCone.org, sorry, on the homepage, those are the tattoos that are on the
Tell you
photo.
what, your French community group, you come up with some brilliant ideas.
Yeah.
Really good. Because I saw the photographs of the
You have
last
to remove
festival.
before applying.
Jesus.
Don't worry, we got some.
You know that I'm like not
Well, I will.
educated enough to.
I will leave Max so he can.
Okay, that works
He
better.
can try to apply that. We have a gift for you, Martin, because you helped us a lot.
Did I?
Yeah, because our French, our local team are doing some DVDs for the public
Yes.
to
yes.
make them easier to install Ubuntu. But some people need 32 bytes DVD,
Yeah.
and we made one, and you help us by making us in touch with someone that
Yes,
could help
with,
to make the
um,
art.
So there's a YouTuber called Ghost67 who makes the Ubuntu Mate release artwork each cycle, and what we're holding up for the for the people in the room here are some. Thank you very much. Are DVDs in cases of Ubuntu Mate 1604 LTS, and also the. Here we go. There we go. Look at that. Fantastic.
Wow.
Thank you very much, Rudy. That's brilliant.
That's awesome.
I'm never going to install it from DVD, but I am going to put these up in my
Yeah,
office.
you can like put it on the wall.
That's just fantastic. Thank you.
It's the first officially branded one I've ever got.
Yeah, these are the only
that's
ones.
right, yeah.
These are the only ones. Yeah,
Oh, that's Jesus.
the only
Thank you very
ones.
much, Rudy.
I didn't know
And,
that we did like still make DVDs.
I think what I'll have to do is get in touch with the guy that put these together and send him one in the post because he put all this artwork together and I think he did a terrific job.
Yes, you.
Thanks, Rudy. That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, let's. So that was supposed to be the ending of the game. Thank you for your
I
participation.
think we all won in this.
Yeah.
Thank you. Can I have some more of those tattoos? My daughter will love these.
I guess Alan has a job to do.
The French local teams are like really, really, really great at
Very imaginative.
marketing.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah.
crazy. Where did you come up with these ideas? Are you like brainstorming? And
Well, that is one of the topic of my talk tomorrow, which is so we don't know how we got a booth in a music festival, which is the number 2 or number 3 biggest Europe music festival. We got the booth, we got a team. What do we do now?
Right.
Because we don't know any other free software association having that luck.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
we cannot ask others to have some experience feedbacks, you know. So we just brainstorm together and
Yeah.
oh, this looks like a good idea, and we try. If it works, we keep it.
Really good. Really good.
yeah, it's like you're totally opening it up to like a new circle of users at music festivals that like have never heard of it.
Yeah, it's mostly non-technic people, so we have to
That's
find
the brilliance of it.
we have to find a way to talk with them without giving insult. Yes, operating system, source code. If you say those words, it's like they are with a beer. Some live will start. Okay, I will go to the live. You know, so
Yeah, clear.
you have to find the right way to advocate it.
I don't have water. Can
Right.
I go back,
Oh.
I'm still trying to experiment.
Yeah, we've been totally distracted by sticking tattoos all over ourselves. I've got 3 now. I'm very pleased with that. Oh my goodness! I tell you what, I think I
It's a dirty bag.
feel some sort of competition coming up on the Ubuntu podcast. There's enough there to do something, isn't there? Maybe the people that were good enough to turn up and listen to all of this should have a couple of these to have a go as well. We'll give you a couple at the end, and you can have a go. Right? Is there anything else, or are we done?
I think we can wrap it up.
Yeah, it's like
anything else planned, Rudy?
Yeah, I think we have done everything. Should we say see you next UbuCone for another crossover?
When will the next UbuCone Europe or next UbuCone will happen?
I think it's not yet officially announced.
I think we
can
risk
we
it this time.
officially announce it?
Well, this episode will not come out in a few hours.
Okay.
So I suppose the French logo team want to host it in Paris.
Wow.
And they are already start a lot of work, like finding sponsor and a place to have the event. I think it's going to be great if this happens.
And that will be for 2017, yeah?
We don't have exactly the date. We don't know if it's November or early December.
Right.
But it should be in those dates.
Wow, fantastic.
Yeah. And you are, of course, welcome to join the event. And why not doing another crossover for Ubuntu Fun team?
Yeah, we really excel at planning and
executing. All of our podcast co-hosts actually show up on recording.
Yeah. We
I was slightly underrepresented here.
we like the cream de la cream of
that time at the moment, yes.
Let's just agree that that's the case.
There's nobody here to oppose us.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Right. Cool. So hope we see you on next UbuCone.
Yeah.
In Paris.
In about a year.
Yeah. But that all works out.
For UbuCone Europe.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in the meantime, where can people follow what's going on with the French community, Rudy?
So if you want to follow the podcast, it will be ubuntupodcast.org or the local team ubuntu-fr.org.
Right. Okay. Max, have you got anywhere that you want to plug?
Yeah, we are obviously the Ubuntu Fun podcast, so you could go to ubuntufun.de/podcast. Or just UbuFun.
Yeah, that's linked and start with.
And what about you?
Yeah, I'm also from the UbuFun podcast. So that's
all right, okay.
What about you then, Martin?
Well, for me, the Ubuntu podcast is ubuntupodcast.org. And for my t-shirt, if you're wondering what this crazy podcast is, it's systemau.net.au. Not safe for work.
Oh.
Great that you put it
nice
in.
one.
Yeah, because calling it Ubuntu Martin is
yeah, well, it's all I ever hear now. It's all I ever hear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
So thanks for all of the audience who showed up.
Thank you.
Even if we are not all presented, all our co-presenters weren't here at the moment, unfortunately. So thanks to our listeners, and I hope we'll hear you next time.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Au revoir.